We're jumping straight into the story of a 19th century rebel who chose, well, defiance over comfort, and whose greatest weapon wasn't medicine, but math.
We are talking about Florence Nightingale.
Exactly. You know the name, you know the lamp, but the true impact she had. It goes so much further than just a bedside visit.
That's absolutely right. When people talk about the founder of modern nursing, they often picture compassion, and dedication. And she had those, of course.
In abundance.
But the real revolution she led was transforming this disorganized, frankly dangerous job into a standardized scientific profession. She changed the world by cleaning it up, improving it all with hard data.
Okay, so let's unpack that.
Mhm.
Her starting point was wildly out of sync with where she ended up.
Oh, completely.
Florence Nightingale was born in 1820 in Florence, Italy. That's where the name comes from. She was from a very wealthy, very well-connected British family. Her father gave her what was, for the time, an incredible education.
Right. She studied history, philosophy, multiple languages. But that background is the first piece of the puzzle. Because women of her class were really only being prepared for one thing.
Look, good marriage.
Good marriage and running a big household. That's where you were supposed to show off your knowledge. But Florence felt this, almost a spiritual calling to actively help people who were suffering.
Which created a massive conflict with her family. I mean, for years. When she said she wanted to be a nurse, they saw it as a monumental disaster.
Because nursing back then wasn't respectable.
Mm.
Hospitals were dirty, disorganized. Honestly, they were places people went to die, not get better.
So it was a career for the poor or desperate.
Exactly. And her parents just saw it as a total rejection of her class. But she was relentless. She didn't just want to volunteer, she wanted professional training.
Which took her to Germany, right? To study at this special institution.
A place that trained deaconesses, yeah. And it wasn't just about bedside care. It was serious, structured education in medical skills and, crucially, in hospital management.
So she had a blueprint. Her first job back in London as a superintendent, she basically proved that if you applied organization, if you treated nursing like a science patient, outcomes got way better.
And that proof, that idea of structure, was about to be tested on a massive scale.
Right. The Crimean War. It starts in 1853. Britain and Russia are involved, and pretty soon reports start filtering back home.
And they are horrifying. The stories about the conditions for wounded British soldiers, overcrowded hospitals, no supplies, just unbelievable filth.
It became a huge public scandal.
It did. And Florence's friend, the Secretary of War, Sidney Herbert, he knew she was the only one who could fix it. He asked her directly for help.
And she moves fast. She puts together a team of 38 women.
And when they leave for the military base at Scutari in late 1854, this is a major moment. It's the first time in history that female nurses were officially allowed to serve in British military hospitals.
So they weren't just nurses, they were like agents of change.
But arriving there, at the Barrack Hospital, it was a shock, even for them. The place was built over a defective sewer system. The air was foul. Soldiers were everywhere. They didn't have enough food or even clean water.
And this is where she has her key insight, the one that defines her entire career.
Yeah.
It wasn't the bullets or the shrapnel killing most of the men. It was infection. Diseases like cholera and typhus were just ripping through the wards. More soldiers were dying from sickness in the hospital than from their battle wounds.
To put a number on that,
Yeah.
when she got there, the death rate at Scutari was 42%.
42. That's almost a coin toss.
It means the hospital was way more dangerous than the front line. They were missing everything: soap, clean bandages, fresh bedding.
So this is where her core belief kicks in. Cleanliness is essential. And she doesn't wait for the military bureaucracy. She uses her own money and donations to buy supplies immediately.
Her actions were so systematic. First, she sets up a laundry service. Just having clean sheets was revolutionary. Then sanitation. Her nurses literally scrubbed the floors and walls. And she insisted on better ventilation for fresh air.
And the results were, they were undeniable.
And fast. The death rate plummeted. It went from that terrifying 42% all the way down to just 2%.
Wow, from 42 to 2.
That saved thousands of lives, based almost entirely on soap, water, and organization.
It's incredible. It's the foundation of modern public health, really, proving the environment has to be safe before healing can even start.
And all this tireless work is what earned her that famous nickname.
The lady with the lamp.
She was known for being constantly present, especially at night. After the doctors went to bed, she'd walk the halls with a small lantern, checking on every single man.
The soldiers gave her the name, but it was more than a checkup, wasn't it?
Oh, it was crucial human comfort. She would talk to them, write letters home for them if they were too weak. It gave them hope in this, absolutely hopeless place.
And that trust she built is the bridge to the other half of her legacy, the part that most people miss.
The statistician.
Exactly. She wasn't just a compassionate nurse. She was a brilliant mathematician and scientist. She knew that stories about suffering wouldn't change policy.
Right. She needed cold, hard evidence to convince the military establishment. So she collected data, obsessively. She recorded not just if a soldier died, but why.
And she didn't just collect it, she had to present it in a way that was impossible to ignore. She invented a new kind of chart, the polar area diagram.
Sometimes called a coxcomb diagram. It was basically a political weapon.
Explain that. What did it look like?
Well, imagine a pie chart, but the wedges stretch out further from the center depending on the number they represent. Each wedge was a month of the year, and she colored them to show the cause of death.
And the visual was shocking.
It was undeniable. The huge, sprawling wedges were for preventable diseases. The tiny slivers were for actual battle wounds. It showed officials in a single glance that it was the filthy conditions killing their army, not the enemy.
It completely flipped the conversation from how do we treat wounds to how do we manage public health.
And that scientific rigor won her recognition that was, well, unheard of for a woman. She became the first woman ever elected to the Royal Statistical Society. She used facts to force change.
So the war ends in 1856. She returns to England as this massive national hero.
But she hated the attention, right? She tried to travel home under a false name to avoid it all.
But she couldn't escape it. Queen Victoria honored her with the Nightingale Jewel and a huge sum of money.
And she immediately put that money to use. In 1860, she established the Nightingale Training School for Nurses at St. Thomas's Hospital in London.
This was foundational, the world's first secular professional nursing school.
And the curriculum was pure Nightingale. Students learned practical skills, yes, but they were also drilled in the science of hygiene and sanitation. Her book, Notes on Nursing, became the textbook.
And that book is a masterpiece of simplicity. It's all about fresh air, light, warmth, a proper diet.
She basically argued the nurse's job is to put the patient in the best possible condition for nature to do its work.
Her influence didn't stop at the hospital door, though. She became a major public health advisor to the government.
Pushing for better sewage systems, clean water in cities. All the lessons from Scutari applied everywhere. She even changed how hospitals were built.
The pavilion system.
Exactly. Big windows, separate wards to stop germs from spreading. She was designing buildings to minimize contagion, way before germ theory was even widely accepted.
So she was connecting data from death rates directly to architectural design.
That's how far ahead she was. She even used her methods to improve conditions for the British Army over in India. Her reach was truly global. She lived to be 90, died in 1910, and collected honors right to the end. She was the first woman to get the Order of Merit.
So to sum it all up, she took nursing from this disrespected job and turned it into a profession built on compassion, yes, but also on rigorous, data-driven science.
Every modern hospital in the world still follows the basic rules she laid down. Her life just shows how one person with intelligence and evidence can defeat a broken system.
That dual legacy, the lady with the lamp and the statistician, is what's so powerful. And it leaves you with a question, doesn't it? Florence Nightingale proved that visualizing data could overcome political resistance in the 1800s. So today, in our age of big data, where are the Nightingale-level insights hiding that could revolutionize our world again?
Good luck with your studies.